When we came to this country, we left my grandfather behind. Because my mother and my sister were the only ones who came to this country. They had the visa to come here. My grandfather, he was not part of the family. He is and he isn't. But my grandfather originally was an American citizen. Because he lived in this country for the longest time. And he had 2 kids who were born here, and 3 of them were over there. They left a year to go back over there when the kids were young. So he was able to come back here with no problem because he's an American citizen. So we decided that nobody was able to take care of him. He's in the 80s, and nobody would take care of this man. My mother always took care of him. So we decided to bring him over here. And my uncle, the bakery, he didn't want to bring him over here. Because, he comes over here, you don't feel good, this and that. He thinks he's going to cost him pocket money for him. He's going to pay something for him to live, you know what I mean? But we didn't care. We brought him over here anyways. So he lived with us. He died 89 years old. And he lived on Blink Street too. He didn't bother nobody. He was a real gentleman. He was a real good man. Yeah. And he was a businessman because when he was younger, he had a business of his own. That's how he put all his kids to work here at a younger age. My father died young. The reason my father died young is because when he first put him to work, he was a little boy. And he carried these big blocks. They used to dig in the ground. And when you dig in the ground, you make a dirt, small blocks. They used to put them in the container, bring it up and throw it on the other side. It was too little, too tender. And matter of fact, he had a little bit, his back was a little curved a little bit. So he got an enlarged heart. We almost was not able to come to this country because this enlarged heart. But we managed to come to this country. So when he came to this country later on in years, he's got a leaky valve, and they couldn't fix it way back then in the 70s. They couldn't fix it. So leaky valve is dripping blood inside you. So he passed away. He was 58 years old. And my mother was, when he passed away, my mother was 52. So I become the man of the house. My mother's 52. She's not like the American girls over here. They go look for another man. A week later, somebody else walking in the house. No. I'm the boss of the house. I take care of her. We don't need somebody else come in there and be in her way. You know what I mean? She was like that. She was. My mother lived in Italy for the first 5 years. I was the only child who was born, because it was in between time. Then he comes home for 1 year. Then my sister comes around, and that's. But they don't do things like that in our country. Only in America they do this shit. Excuse my language, but that's the way I feel. You know what I mean? They don't have respect for the person they live with so many years. They have respect. You don't need another man. What are you going to do with it? You know what I mean? But anyways, that's the story. That's the story.
Frank Raspante was a man of great heart and unwavering dedication, a pillar of strength for everyone who was fortunate enough to know him. Deeply rooted in his love for family, Frank carried the weight of responsibility from a young age, stepping into the role of the man of the house after the passing of his father. With a steadfast resolve, he stood by his mother, his sister Mary, and his younger brother John, ensuring they were cared for and supported during life's most challenging moments.
He's very, very, very affectionate. Very affectionate, more so than I ever thought Frank would become. Because he was, like I say, he was always in his own shell. Okay, even for New Year's Eve, and we would we would all get together and we'd say Happy New Year, Happy New Year. My mother had to steal a kiss from him because he was not that way, but he's no longer that way at all.
I describe that I did the very good to do in my lifetime, and I treat everybody fair, and more than fair in most cases. Every once in a while somebody slaps me in the face for one reason or another, but then I don't deserve that.